This solidifies him as one of our great directors of this generation.
Whoever has that kid wins the war.
What do you want, sweetie?
For robots to be free.
Let's talk the creator. All right, I seen this movie a couple weeks ago, and I'm still thinking about this film. It is a masterpiece of cinema. This is one of the best films of 2023, in my personal opinion, and other people who have given their first reactions on Twitter have said as much. It is a breath of fresh air being an original story. It is not taken off some novels or comic books or anything else like that, or a remake of a movie of years past. This is Gareth Edwards' original story. He co-wrote it, he directed it, he produced it. This is his baby. And I'm going to tell you something. If you thought he was a great director watching Star Wars, Rogue One, or even Godzilla for that matter, this solidifies him as one of our great directors of this generation. This guy, he's nailed it. And if Kevin Feige isn't giving him a call by now, or Kathleen Kennedy is asking him to come back and do another Star Wars film, I don't know what's wrong with him, because honestly speaking, he has proven himself that he can handle science fiction, he can handle visual effects, he can handle big budgets in a way where it has story, it has heart, it has purpose. It's not all about flash, wham, bam, all these crazy special effects and it's light on story or light on character. This film, from the moment you start watching it, is just full of story, and he brings you into this world that he's created so well. It is so detailed, so well versed, but it doesn't lose you. It's not trying to be smarter than you. It's not trying to be this intellectual film that half the audience will not get. No. What he does in a very interesting way is he reminds me a lot of James Cameron when Cameron directs his films. If you watch Terminator or Avatar or True Lies for that matter, James Cameron, if you look at the surface, his films are a lot of fun. Some of the stories could be simplistic in many people's eyes. And it's just an enjoyable ride to the movie theaters, right? But if you go a little bit deeper and you see the nuances that James Cameron brings to his stories, especially Avatar or Terminator for that matter, there's a lot more going on there. And Gareth Edwards has that in his directing and his storytelling. You see that more so than ever here in The Creator. I don't want to spoil this film for you because there are so many twists and turns. I thought it was going to be like District 9 or Apocalypse Now or, or other films we might have seen in the past. And yes, it has essences of some of those films, but it's so original in its own right. And yes, it deals with AI and humanity. And you might say, well, I've seen these AI films before. Not like this, you haven't. Especially in this day and age where AI is so prevalent in our society, how we navigate on our computers, on our smartphones, how we're getting around the world, how we're using AI to simplify our lives. And you're not going to push a button or flip a switch and turn it off. It's not going anywhere. It's going to get smarter. It's going to improve. And as you see in this film, it is amongst us. It's living amongst us. It is part of us. Now, some in this film you're going to see don't agree with that, and some embrace it. And that is a question that when you walk out of this theater, you're going to have those same conversations with your friends and your family and other people who've watched this film, is how much are we going to embrace AI? Should we be afraid of it? Or should we be fearful of it? Or should we embrace it or just take it day by day? There's going to be many different questions, and you're not going to have the answers. And neither does this film give you an answer. It just gives you two sides of the story and lets you as the audience decide where this technology is going and how far we want it to go. And should we stop it, or should we let it continue to grow and emerge as something even beyond mankind? Very deep thoughts right there, very, very deep questions and very deep conversations. And that's what this film gives us as an audience. Now, let's talk about some of the performances here. John David Washington is Denzel Washington's son. Some of you may know that, some of you don't. I knew him from Ballers, the HBO series with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I loved him in that series. He's done a lot of other films since then. Tenet is one of them with Christopher Nolan. He's fantastic in this movie. He has solidified himself as a star. He has essence of his father that you're going to hear in the voice and his acting, but he has a different type of energy that is refreshing and it's exciting to watch. And he's very organic in his performance, and he's just great. He's absolutely awesome. His chemistry with Gemma Chan is fantastic as well, and even the young girl. Now, her name is Madeline Univoyes, and she is going to be, she is the star of the film. For such a young actress, how much gravitas she has, how much emotion that she brings to the screen. The camera loves her, and her performance is absolutely spellbinding. If her performance didn't work, the film doesn't work. And it works great, and her chemistry with all the actors involved just hits on so many levels. Ken Watanabe, tour de force once again, one of the best actors in film today, regardless Asian, non-Asian, let's put all that out of the way. He's a phenomenal actor, and you're going to see him just really shine in this movie. Allison Janney, I haven't seen her in a while. She's been doing a lot more television out there. She is great in this film. I wanted to ask Gareth, I interviewed him by the way, but I only had 9 minutes with him, so I could only get so many questions out there. But I wanted to ask him why Allison Janney, she fits perfectly in this film, but you don't think of her in the beginning, then you're like, how could you not think of anybody else? So the casting in this movie is fantastic. It is spot on. The performances, the heart, the writing, the pacing of this film. There's only one issue I have in this movie, and that's towards the tail end of the third act, where it gets a little bit more, I don't want to say action adventure, but it gets a little bit more Tom Cruise and some sort of stunts that John David Washington does just for a moment. But of course, you are in the future. You've got to suspend a little bit of belief. But this movie sticks the landing, and it does in a big way. And that doesn't take you out of the film in any way, shape, or form. It's just one of those things where you go, okay, we're getting a little bit more Tom Cruise in this portion of it, but it's only there for a little bit. But the emotion brings you back in. And by the end of this film, some people are walking out of the theater crying. Some people are just in silence, just thinking. And some people are clapping. And it's that kind of film that's going to bring all those emotions into play. Gareth Edwards needs to be nominated for something. Either Best Director, Best Story, I don't know what. He needs to be nominated for something. The cinematography in this movie is spot on. This visual effects are spot on. This movie doesn't miss a beat. And I am trying to, you've seen other reviewers out there probably talking about the same things I am, but this is one of the best films of 2023. I'll put it up there with Oppenheimer and the other ones out there. It is that good. You definitely need to see this film. Support original stories, support original IPs. I don't know where this film is going to go, if there's going to be a sequel or not. I have no idea. Even if it doesn't, this movie will go down as one of the sci-fi classics of the early 21st century, in my personal opinion. Anyway, those are my thoughts on The Creator. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with me if you've already seen the movie? If you have not, love to hear from you as well. And with that, if you want to see more of our movie reviews, check them out right here.